As we journey through life, something subtle yet powerful begins to happen with time. The laughter that once surrounded us grows quieter. The phone rings less, and the familiar warmth of company sometimes fades into long, thoughtful evenings. You begin to notice how people who once sought your advice now seem busy, distracted, or even distant. It can feel as though the world has quietly moved on while you stand in the same place, holding the wisdom of decades that no one seems eager to hear anymore. But beneath this quiet withdrawal lies a truth that many never speak of. As we age, people's feelings toward us often shift in unexpected ways. Some may secretly resent us, misunderstand us, or even avoid us, not always out of malice, but from emotions they don't fully understand themselves. Today, we will explore 7 surprising reasons why people may quietly grow to dislike or distance themselves from you as you age, and most importantly, how you can rebuild warmth, respect, and genuine connection. Because growing older should not mean fading away. It should mean glowing differently, with grace, strength, and peace. The first reason people sometimes turn cold is that with age, you've become too honest. You've seen enough of life to recognize illusions, to spot the mistakes others are making before they even make them. You no longer have time for small talk, for false politeness, for pretending everything is fine when it isn't. So you speak your truth, not to wound but to warn. Yet honesty, especially from someone older, can sound harsh to younger ears. What you mean as wisdom may be heard as judgment. When you tell someone they're wasting their potential, they might not hear your concern. They may only hear criticism. When you advise a loved one to slow down or change course, they might feel you're controlling them rather than protecting them. Over time, your clarity can be mistaken for coldness. But remember, truth is not a sword meant to cut. It's a light meant to guide. Wrap your honesty in empathy. Instead of saying you're wrong, try saying, I've been where you are, and I understand. When people feel your heart behind your words, they no longer run from your truth, that they walk beside it. The second reason people may quietly dislike you as you age has nothing to do with you personally. It's because you remind them of time. Your presence, your stories, even your quietness can remind others that life is fragile and fleeting. Every wrinkle you wear, every silver strand in your hair whispers to them, time is moving, and that frightens people. They see in you what they fear for themselves, the loss of youth, of health, of endless possibilities. Their discomfort with you is, in truth, discomfort with their own mortality. But you can turn this around. You can show them that aging is not the ending of life, but the flowering of it. Let your energy, your curiosity, your laughter be proof that time cannot diminish the soul. Let them see that wisdom, patience, and calm joy are the new forms of beauty. When people see you embrace aging as evolution rather than decline, their fear dissolves, replaced by admiration, respect, and love. The third reason some people may secretly dislike you is that you stopped adapting. You might not notice it, but many of us get stuck in the comfort of what we once knew. We compare everything new to what we remember as better. Music, manners, morals, or the way the world used to feel. And when we resist the present, others feel that resistance as rejection. They sense that we are closing a door, not just on the times, but on them. When you dismiss the modern world, younger generations feel dismissed too. The key to connection is curiosity. Ask questions even about things you don't understand or like. Let someone explain their favorite music, their habits, their values, not to agree, but to learn. Every generation builds a different version of the same human story. When you open yourself to their version, you don't lose your identity. You enrich it. Adaptation is not about surrendering who you are. It's about expanding who you can be. Stay curious, and you'll always stay connected. The fourth reason may surprise you, because it lives in silence. You've become a mirror of regret. Sometimes seeing someone who has lived longer and survived more makes others confront their own unfulfilled dreams. Your life, your stories, your calm can make them remember everything they haven't done, the people they've lost, or the chances they never took. Their discomfort with you isn't about dislike, it's about pain reflected back at them. But you can transform that mirror into a window. Instead of being a reminder of what's gone, become a symbol of what's still possible. Share your mistakes openly, but also share how you made peace with them. Tell others that you too have regrets, but that regret can become wisdom, and wisdom can become compassion. When people see your serenity despite your scars, they begin to forgive themselves for their own. And forgiveness, both given and received, heals the distance between souls. The fifth reason is subtle but common. You've become too self-contained. Years of independence, experience, and resilience may have taught you that it's easier to do things yourself than to ask for help. But independence, when taken too far, can feel like isolation to others. People want to feel needed. It gives them purpose. When you do everything on your own, others might assume you don't want their company or support. They drift away, not because they don't care, but because they feel uninvited. Relationships are built not on perfection, but on participation. Invite people into your world. Ask for their opinions, their help, their time. It's not weakness, it's warmth. When others feel that their presence matters in your life, they will come closer, not out of obligation, but out of love. And you'll find that even the smallest gestures of shared effort, a meal cooked together, a story shared, a walk taken side by side, can mend years of quiet distance. The sixth reason is one we often overlook. You may have forgotten to listen. With age comes countless stories, experiences, and lessons. You've seen enough to know how things often turn out, so you try to save others from mistakes you've already made. But sometimes that instinct to guide becomes an interruption, not of words, but of presence. People don't always want advice. Sometimes they just want to be heard. When you listen deeply, truly listen, you give others the gift of being seen. In a world full of noise, being seen is love. Try to ask more questions, pause before replying, and let silence breathe between words. Listen not just with your ears, but with your heart, because every person, regardless of age, wants to feel that their story matters too. When you create that space, your relationships transform. Conversations turn from lectures into lifelines, and slowly people who had drifted away begin to return, drawn by the rare peace that comes from being truly heard. The seventh reason may be the most misunderstood of all. People don't know how to handle your strength. You've survived storms, loss, betrayal, and the slow passing of people you loved. You've endured pain that would have broken many. Yet here you stand, calm, composed, strong. That quiet strength can make others uneasy. They may mistake your steadiness for indifference, your peace for emotional distance. They see your resilience and feel small beside it. But strength without softness can feel unreachable. Let people see the whole picture, the pain, the healing, the tears behind the wisdom. Show them that your strength was not born from perfection, but from perseverance. When you share not just your victories, but your vulnerabilities, you become human again in their eyes, and that humanity bridges hearts more than any advice ever could. Now that we've uncovered these 7 reasons, let's turn to something more powerful. The art of rebuilding relationships. Because even if you've been misunderstood, even if people have pulled away, you are never too old, too late, or too far gone to reconnect. Start with humility. Reach out first, even if pride tells you not to. A simple message, "I've been thinking of you," can thaw years of silence. Offer forgiveness, not because they always deserve it, but because you deserve peace. When you release resentment, you make space for warmth to return. Then lead with gratitude. Thank people for what they once gave you: time, laughter, or love, even if those moments are long past. Gratitude reopens doors that anger once locked. Finally, nurture presence. Don't wait for holidays or special occasions to connect. Call just to say hello. Send a small note or share a memory. Presence, not perfection, rebuilds love. And while rebuilding, remember to rebuild inwardly too, because the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for all others. Be gentle with the person you've become. Forgive yourself for growing old, for slowing down, for forgetting things, for feeling lonely sometimes. You are not fading, you are transforming. Like autumn leaves, you are trading the bright green of youth for the gold of wisdom. And gold, my friend, is never dull. It only deepens with light. It's also important to understand that not everyone who distances themselves does so out of hate or resentment. Sometimes life simply moves people along different paths. Sometimes others are consumed by their own struggles. Aging often brings clarity, and that clarity can reveal who was truly connected to your soul and who was merely passing through your story. Don't let the loss of some make you forget the value of your own presence. Even when people leave, your worth remains whole. You have lived through countless chapters, and there are still pages left to write. As we move through the later stages of life, we begin to realize that relationships are not measured in years, but in moments of truth. The laughter you shared with friends, the advice you gave to a neighbor, the quiet kindness you showed to a stranger, or these are the fingerprints your heart leaves behind. And though the world may seem faster, colder, or more digital than before, the human heart has not changed. Everyone still longs for connection, for understanding, for love that feels safe. And that is where your greatest gift lies. You are the bridge between generations, a living archive of wisdom, patience, and grace. Use it not to correct others, but to comfort them, not to prove you're right, but to remind them that love has always been the answer, no matter the age or era. So the next time you feel invisible, remember this: invisibility is often mistaken identity. You are not unseen. The world just doesn't know how to look deeply anymore. But the few who truly see you, who feel your calm and hear your kindness, will treasure you more than words can say. Let your light remain steady even if fewer eyes are watching. Because real influence is quiet. Real wisdom doesn't shout. It simply is. You have survived too much, learned too much, and love too deeply to let the misunderstandings of others define your worth. Aging is not losing relevance. It is gaining radiance. It is the transformation of energy into presence. Every scar you bear, every lesson you carry, is a story that can heal someone else's fear. Share those stories, not as nostalgia, but as nourishment for the living. Be the calm in their storm, the patience in their rush, the reminder that time is not the enemy, but the teacher. And if there are people who secretly dislike you, forgive them. If there are those who have forgotten you, Lord bless them, because you have something far greater than their approval. You have peace, earned through time and tenderness. Keep living with openness. Keep listening with your heart. Keep loving without expectation. That is the secret to aging beautifully, not in body, but in spirit. In the end, you'll see that people don't truly hate those who grow old. They fear the mirror that age holds before them. But when you fill that mirror with grace, laughter, and acceptance, even their fear begins to fade. You become a reflection of hope, not loss. And hope at any age is the most beautiful thing a soul can give to the world. So breathe deeply. Stand tall. You have not been forgotten. You are becoming unforgettable in a quieter, truer way. The years have not taken from you. They've given you perspective, compassion, and strength. Let your presence remind others that growing older is not about losing life. It's about learning how to live it more meaningfully. Because at the end of all things, beyond youth, beyond opinions, beyond distance, love remains. And love, dear listener, is the only thing that time cannot age. For more videos, subscribe my channel.